Well, hello. You're looking at the Self-Styled Life Journal by Pam. And this is something that I've been working on for years. And I hope that you're enjoying the look you're getting and thinking, this looks like something that'll help me to get that balance between being over technical about your planning and then the very lackadaisical approach to planning. And it's a hard balance to get, to use your creativity and organicness to plan your life, get things done, get more done calmly and creatively, yet at the same time, make sure that you've incorporated everything, that you're tracking what you need to track, that you've thought of everything, that you've got your goals clearly in your mind, that you're going to achieve your vision at the end of a few years, possibly, of work. So this journal is a minimalist journal. It's deceptively simple, and it's going to help you create a plan for 12 weeks so that you get things done quite quickly. But it's going to look at your whole life so that you can decide out of all your life goals what it is that you're going to achieve in your next 12 weeks. So let's have a look at what I've incorporated for you. I'm going to screen share again with something else, which is the inside of my journal. So here we have it. It's called My Self-Styled Life, Dreams to Visions and Goals, Daily Objectives and Tasks with Monitoring and Tracking to Achieve and Evaluate My Goals. And it's so that we can get more done calmly and practically. And it's drawing on research and theories that are out there and putting it together in a way that works, and I have tested. I've worked for 30 odd years in everything from nursing to training to business, running my own business, being an apprentice, being a worker. And I've tested all of these theories, from the highly complicated ones written by engineers to the bullet journal, which is basically a blank canvas with dots on it, to the Franklin Covey approach, in which Covey practices principles and says, manage your principles and your goals rather than your time. I've brought all of that together, including a whole lot of business ideas from my MBA. So we're looking at the balanced scorecard, we're looking at the 6 thinking hats and the 6 action shoes, we're looking at Kanban, but we're also looking at how I've done it on OneNote, on Outlook, and seeing how do we condense all of this together into something practical. And I give you a quick why I did this. Oh, I forgot also the morning pages from Artist Way at Work and the different project management things. So put this all together, and I've given you 9 steps. And each step has different pages that you can work within. What you do in that page is up to you. Now, I've got the 9 listed here, but when you get to each page does have a intro to what you can do in that. It's designed not to be prescriptive or directive, but to encourage you in a specific direction because it will lead you to the end. So the first thing is freehand journaling to release your mind and your dreams. See what it is you actually want to be doing. Then mind mapping these dreams and visions and saying, how do they actually fit together? How am I going to get there? Then we look at the big pieces. Now, the big pieces are things that exist whether we like it or not. You could be a daughter, a mother, a sister, a cousin, you've got a whole lot of roles in your lives. In terms of work, you could be a manager, but also maybe the designer. You could be all sorts of things. So you need to look at all of these dynamics and see, if I am a sister and a mother, what are my goals here? What am I trying to achieve here? To make sure that you don't leave out anything, because dreams and visions are all very well, but you've still got to get through the practicality of your day. What I include in my big pieces are also the balanced scorecard, the sharpening the saw that Covey talks about, to say, am I looking at myself as a whole? And then saying, what are my goals and dreams within me physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally? In terms of the balanced scorecard for my business or my life, do I have assets? Am I operating well? Am I marketing myself or networking well enough? And finally, am I learning and growing? Number 4 is goals, values, and missions. There's a logical progression that as you've gone through the first 3 steps, you start putting down what it is that you want to be doing. What actually is my goal? Because you'll find that on many of the things I've mentioned before, there'll be repetition, or there'll be times where you could work together on achieving different goals. So the goals are ones that you say, these are the important ones. Values is, what is the intrinsic underlying principle that I want to use to achieve this goal or makes this goal happen? So for instance, is honesty important to me? Is trust important to me? Is following biblical principles a value to me? Mission is how I'm going to get this done. Do I want to be calm and practical? Do I want to be driven? Do I want to follow somebody else? Do I want to strike out on my own and just be creative and see what comes of it? That's what a mission is. Once you've got those written down, you've probably got about 10 big goals. And on those, you can also put down the little steps, the objectives to meet those goals. I found that I came back and forth to those. I didn't write them all in one big piece. Step 5 is the little pieces in rituals. So for instance, if I'm saying I want to be physically fitter, that could be a goal, but how am I going to do it? Am I going to walk the dog daily? Am I going to do a little bit of yoga every day? Am I going to be lying on my back with my legs in the air so that I can stop getting this hunchback from being hunched over my laptop all the time? Those are the little pieces in rituals where I decide how my day is going to run so that I can incorporate physical things, because I am not the type to go and do an hour in the gym and then tick that off my list. I have to weave it into my day because I'm not a physical human. Other rituals are morning pages. That I wake up in the morning, I make myself something to drink, I settle down back in bed, all my pillows out, and I do morning pages just to empty my thoughts onto the page, and it helps me plan and set the day in place for me. Rituals are important because it takes what is good and puts it into a repetitive process that is desirable to do. So rituals rather than routines. A routine on its own, you'll stop doing it. A ritual gives you more than you thought you'd get out of it. So it could be to music. It could be that when you get back into bed to do your morning pages, that you've got the coffee you love and you're allowed to sit there and enjoy it. Those are the rituals. So I write up little rituals. Sometimes I put in alternative rituals because it depends how I'm feeling that day. Do I want to be sitting in bed doing coffee, or do I want to be getting the Hoover out and cleaning the place because I'm annoyed with it? 6, what I measure, I achieve. Now that I know what my goals are, now that I know which rituals I like and want to be doing, I get some sort of a table together. And you'll find that this is graph paper. And you start doing maybe a day by day thing so that you can start ticking off. Have I done my rituals? Have I done my face care so that I'm looking good? Have I done my face yoga or face massage because I'm seeing that it has benefit to how I look and how I see myself in the mirror every day? So I start creating some way to measure what it is that I've set as a goal or set as a ritual so that I start achieving it. Because I have been really surprised at how, for instance, just with my wristwatch, I'm more likely to do 10,000 steps if I have my watch on than if I don't. Number 7 is the biggest part of this book. It's 90 days, that's 12 weeks, of day-by-day bullet journal. Now, a bullet journal is basically a very free-form thing. I do give you a key. If you go online, you'll see some people do beautiful bullet journals. I don't. Mine is very basic, and it's basically a list of what am I trying to achieve today or this week? How am I going to do it? What steps I need to do? And then an outline of my week, day by day, because I prefer working in a week, and saying, where am I going to put all these goals in? These actions that I need to do, where are they going to go in? I also put in my rituals, that I like having a rest in the middle of the day, that I like taking the dog for a walk in the middle of the day. I put all of these things in on my bullet journal, but I also write down anything that happens. If I've had to phone about my pension, I put that in there. I will transfer the facts later, but the bullet journal is where I have my rough notes as well. Lastly, number 8 is after my 90 days, I journal again on what I achieved. How did it go? Looking back at number 1 to 7, did I actually start achieving any of those dreams and visions I had? Did I get anywhere close to the goals that I selected? Now, on my first 12-week year, I didn't achieve hardly anything. But as each 12-week year went by, I got far better at knowing what I could achieve and then achieving it. After that, when you've reviewed it, you decide what you're going to do next, and you roll over into your next 12-week year, and you get yourself another journal. And you find that this flexible yet structured notebook will help you to journal your way using a number of processes. I will be doing a video on all the different systems that I used, because all of them have value. All of them contribute to the way we work. But I don't think any one of them actually gives us the answer. So let me stop sharing here and go back to the beginning of the self-styled life journal, because it's about a minimalist guide to 3 months of growth. Unearth and achieve goals in pursuit of your vision. Initiate a virtuous cycle. Propel yourself upwards simply and flexibly. We give you the blank pages and indicators for various stages to use in your own style. Now, I call myself the creatively functional lifestyle because I want to be functional, but I can't do it in other people's ways. And this is why I've created a movable, flexible system, yet with some structure. So I've got a framework that I work within, but I can do it any way I like. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And we will see you again when I talk to you about my different styles of journaling, of doing things, the different systems and theories I used. If you have any notes, please share them with me. Please mention anything you've got. And I look forward to hearing from you and having you watch my next videos.